I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead, Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart, slide job, no! Larson unable to complete the pass, he'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinsler. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader, Kyle Larson from ninth, leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun, where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there.
The following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway. 26 and Hallmark trying to go 3 wide, no one's with them.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive it in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14, it's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it? Walker Thomas.
Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win. Hello and welcome, race fans, back to Primetime Racing TV. Back here tonight with the ASRS Twitchy Race Reports Premier Cup Series, live from the Talladega Super Speedway. Should be a really good show here tonight, and expecting these drivers to have some really good racing for 76 laps here tonight. I'm Brandon Krutz. Joining me in the booth tonight is Evan Black. And where's Corey Silva? He's not here tonight. Michael DeGroat producing for the first time tonight with the channel. And awesome to have him here with us for the new producer for the channel. First time since early 2017 that Corey has not been producing for us. So very, very cool, and should be a very good broadcast here tonight.
Yeah, Talladega, it's always a lot of fun commentating races here and running races here. Right now, qualifying currently underway. Jay Graves Jr. currently on the pole, but still about a minute, or about 2.5 minutes left in qualifying.
Absolutely. So, these guys, like Evan said, taking to the track for qualifying, and so far, it's Jay Graves Jr. up in a top spot with a 51.874, and looks like some pretty bad fast lap times up here. Very close lap times. Second and third place currently tied on the charts with a 51.875. That's Tom Gianni and Jason Stewart.
And then they're only 1,000 slower than current pole sitter Jay Graves Jr. He ran at 8.74.
Absolutely. So that was a quick look at the qualifying time so far. And, well, taking a quick look at .7 here tonight. Right now, Jeff Ward with some dominating performances so far really in this season, up at the top of the points charts here. And So for right now, he has about 234 points. 14 points back from him is Jared Mogard in second. Third is Brian Yazek, 20 points back. 47 points back is Jordan Ashland. Fifth place, 30 points back is Jason Stewart. Sixth place, 80 points back is Drew Carroll. Seventh place, Mark Emerson, 91 points back. 92 points back. In eighth is Steve Ritter. Ninth is Jim Foos. He's 98 points back. And 101 points back in 10th is David Howard Jr. That's a look at the top 10 in the point standings for the Twitchy Race Reports Premier Cup Series here tonight.
Yeah, I don't think it's too much longer before these drivers get into their playoffs. I'm trying to figure out now when that is.
So, folks, tonight, while Evan is looking for that, the Sam Maxwell Customs Cup 200 here from the Talladega Super Speedway. And should be a good show. Not too much longer left here in qualifying. So, should be good. And I know, would like to take an opportunity right now to thank all of the crew that helps us out every night on PTR TV while we do have this brief moment. And, obviously Michael DeGroat stepping in tonight, so that way Corey could have a well-deserved night off. We got Joe Chris behind the scenes, does a lot for us. And, of course, all of our other crew that makes things happen with the channel. So as the clock ticks down, we will bring you your PTR TV starting lineup here on the iRacing grid. Starting in first here tonight with a time of 51.874 is Jay Graves Jr. Congratulations to him for taking the pole award here tonight. And starting in second is going to be Tom Gianni. Third is Jason Stewart. Jared Haggerty starting in fourth. Fifth is going to be Jim Foos. Andy Veltman starting in sixth. Pete Baskin starting seventh. Eighth is Nick Curling. Tyler Seville starting ninth. And rounding out the top 10 is Josh Gallagher. Evan?
And then Mark Emerson will be rolling off in 11th. Sam Maxwell to his outside. Jordan Ashland in 13th. Brian Yazek to his outside. Alex Giese in 15th. And then the rest of the top 20, Tim Knott, Troy Haight, Steve Buhala, Chris Titus, and Jack Wells running out the top 20, Brandon.
Starting in 21st is Jeff Ward. 22nd is John Kennedy. Chad Finna, finally, starting in 23rd. 24th is Scott Eckridge. Jared Mogard starting 25th. 26th is Mitch Brown. Drew Carroll starting 27th. 28th is David Howard Jr. Nick Kaufman starting 29th. And rounding out the top 30 is Ty Hester. Evan?
Then rounding out the rest of the field, we got Steve Ritter, Brandon Boyd, Clarence Bonner, Scott Haller, Richard Fletcher, and then Jordan Miller rounding the field in 36th.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is your starting lineup here on PTR TV. 36 cars on grid. 36 cars ready to take the green flag here tonight at Talladega. The ASRS Twitchy Race Reports Premier Cup Series. The Sam Maxwell Customs Cup 200 here from the Talladega Super Speedway. These guys ready to get going. Just a few moments before these guys roll off here tonight. Expecting a pretty good race here from Talladega Super Speedway. Evan, anything that we should point out here before these guys get rolling?
Well, one thing is going to be the fuel window. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to say probably about 45 or so laps on the fuel window. What do you think, Brennan?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. As far as weather goes as well, track looking pretty good. Just partly cloudy, 73 degrees. Track temp around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, so not too bad for these guys here on the Super Speedway. Winds going east at 9 miles an hour. So
no fast repairs tonight here at Talladega, so these drivers are going to have to be really careful to take care of these cars for this long 76-lap race.
yeah, absolutely. About 200 miles here on the schedule for tonight. And, these guys going to have to be careful, going to have to be patient at the beginning of this race as these guys are behind the iRacing official pace car. They'll get stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go. Green flag racing. A couple of guys getting sent to the rear of the field. Josh Gallagher and Chad Finley both receiving end-of-line penalties. They'll start at the very tail end for this race.
And I did find out when the playoff starts. They start about 3 races after tonight.
All right, so be on the lookout for that, folks, and coming up in just a matter of weeks. These guys making their way down through turns 3 and 4. Now, something to remember here at the Talladega Superspeedway, folks, the start line is not in the tri-oval like at most tracks. The start line is actually beyond the exit of pit road here.
Yes, that makes for some pretty interesting restarts. There's some really long waits from when the pace car pulls in to before we actually get the green flag and get underway.
Speaking of the pace car pulling in, it'll be doing so this time around. The iRacing official pace car now making that hard left turn down into pit lane. The field in the hands of Jay Graves Jr. in that number 8 machine. He's on pole here tonight. He is the control car. He has control over when the field goes here. So, just awaiting the drop of the green flag now. The 44 to his outside, the 11, the 6, the 42. Green flag is in the air. They're on the throttle for the first time tonight here at Talladega.
And Tom Gianni got a heck of a start there. He's going to clear Jay Graves Jr. for the lead before they even get to turn 1. Will he drop down to the inside lane? He's thinking about it, but he's going to stay up there in the middle for the moment. 2-car breakaway on the inside lane.
He waited just a little bit too long to make that move down to the bottom of the racetrack. Now coming down out of turn number 2. The number 8 machine down on the low side now. Maybe looking to go 3 wide. Someone behind them. Not going to make it happen that last time. By 4-car breakaway up towards the front.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised to see that 4-car breakaway. We'll see if the 6 of Jared Haggard, if he stays up there, or if he will drop back down behind that 11 of Jason Stewart. We'll see here as they come through 3 and 4 now. What he does, looks like he's going to stay up there 4 now. He's thinking about dropping down, but he's going to stay on the outside.
A little bit of 3-wide racing going on behind them. 1 car left out in the dust. Now heading down through the Talladega trial. The 8 machine clears for the lead. The 11 on his back bumper. 44 to 6 on the outside. Here comes a 42 of Jim Foose.
Jay Graves will lead the first lap, but he's got the 44 Tom Gianni all over his outside. We'll see if that outside lane can get something working. They're really the only 2 cars up there now, and now Jared Haggard dropping down to the bottom. Only Gianni up there.
Most of the field starting to single out now, but looks like these guys trying to play catch-up. The outside line trying to make something work. 4 cars working together up on a high side. Not going to work unless they get more cars. Heading down into turn number 3. Tom Gianni trying to lead that outside line.
Now Jim Foose going up, taking a look 3 wide, but he's not going to be able to get to his outside, so he's going to duck back in line. Still 2 wide, but the outside lane is really, really falling back.
Yeah, absolutely. They are still 3 wide racing back there. Now, those guys go back 2 wide. Tom Gianni manages to hold on to that outside lane. Now, the 8 machine dragging those guys out on the bottom, heading down into turn number 1 now. Now, Tom Gianni in that outside line falling way back from the rest of the field.
Yeah, right now the top 7 are all single file. Now about to be the top 8. We'll see how far back will Gianni and the rest of these guys on the outside go before they can get in line.
Down the back straightaway now. Looks like a couple of guys maybe thinking about going to the outside line. Saw Sam Maxwell back there looking, but not going to happen that next time by. But back up out front, these guys single file racing out of turn number 4.
Yeah, Nick Kerwin gets down to the bottom. Now Jim Foose, still just Tom Gianni up there all alone. But besides him, it looks like all of the top 15 or so are single file.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like, you know, the one issue with this Cup package here on the Super Speedways is that, you know, it's really hard to get racy, really hard to get that outside line to work, or, you know, unless you have more drivers up on the high side than you do on the low side, really hard to get to do 2 wide and even 3 wide racing here at Talladega.
Yeah, 17 drivers up there in the lead pack, and they're all single file. Then, looks like a second pack now forming, and pretty much all of them are single file, so pretty much all the field, for the moment at least, single file.
Yeah, a little bit of a breakaway is starting to happen back there, and a little bit of a breakaway did happen back there, so it looks like pretty much both packs single file. A couple of drivers back there maybe looking to make a move. Not going to happen that quite yet. The 28 car getting left out in the dust.
It's like the 13 at Clarence Bond. I don't know if he's pulling down off the track. I'm not quite sure why. But he's stopped down on the apron of 1 and 2, but now he's gone to pit road.
So, Clarence Bonner down in pit lane. Not really sure what happened there. We stay clean and green right now as a couple of guys try to pull out a line, try to maybe make something happen. The 28 machine, Troy Hayde being one of them, and he got left out in the dust. Still fall to the very end of this lead pack.
Yeah, it looks like that second pack may be starting to catch these guys. We will see, though. I'm trying to look to see what lap times they ran. About 2/10 quicker was the second pack than our leader. So we will see if they can catch up.
Yeah, it does look like they're starting to make up a little bit of ground.
Jason Stewart going for the lead along with Jared Haggerty up to the outside of Jay Graves Jr. Down the back straightaway side by side as they get ready to go into turn number 3.
Couple other guys moving up with them. That's the 63 machine trying to move up to that second line now. Now coming down, it looks like that 8 machine dives back down in, or the 11 machine actually managed to take the lead away from that 8 machine. Coming down through the tri-oval, and now the 6 machine left out in the dust.
Yeah, the 11 Jason Stewart, new leader. See if the number 6, how far back will he drop. I'm going to take it right there in 7, but he has no help.
So, almost a little bit of contact between the 8 machine and the 6. Coming up, that stalled out the field a little bit more. You see that second pack starting to gain rapidly up on the lead pack here now. A couple other cars up on that outside lane, maybe trying to get something done. Not going to happen quite yet. Looks like just something to know quickly. Clarence Bonner has taken it behind the wall. He has done Nick Kaufman involuntarily behind the wall. A little bit of maybe connection issues for him, but here comes the 3 machine, bringing it up to the high side. So now, something that I just noticed, maybe a little bit of damage to the front end of that 6 machine doesn't seem to be affecting him now. These guys starting to kind of dodge and weave and kind of, try to slingshot each other all over the place here. Maybe trying to get a second line going. Now heading down out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Looks like these guys, we could have a new leader. The number 3 machine heading down into turn number 3 now. Maybe going to be able to get cleared. Will he try to move down? He does try to move down. Got to be careful not to get left in the dust. No hesitation from him moving down to the bottom of the racetrack. Now heading down out of turn number 4. The 3 machine going to be your new leader this time around if he can hold it. The 6 machine up on the high side. Got a little bit of front end damage. Not sure if that's going to help him or hurt him. Doesn't look to be doing too good right now.
Now Jason Stewart has cleared that outside lane, but the 6 of Haggerty is trying to get back up to his quarter panel. He is there for right now. But only the 2 of them up there at the front of this pack, and it looks like they're starting to drop back to the back of the field.
Yeah, a little bit, and it looks like that 11 machine taking a little bit of a peek to the outside of your leader, that 3 machine. Nothing doing that last time by. 3 machine, Pete Baskins currently leading the field around Talladega Super Speedway right now. Some of these guys trying to still make that second lane work. They haven't fallen back as quick as I thought they would for there only being 2 cars there on the outside lane. They do need some more drivers up there if they're going to get it to work, however. Now, 63 maybe looking at the outside of the 6.
Yeah, looks like the 63 is not staying right on his back bumper. He keeps kind of going up, taking a look to his outside, and that is definitely not helping this outside lane speed. And also looks like Haggerty, like you said before, Brandon, has a little bit of left front damage. That is not going to help.
Couple of guys now taking a peek to the outside line. Now down to the back straightaway. Looks like that outside starting to fall back further and further. That's not helping them as well, Evan, but more guys starting to pile into that outside line, hoping they'll get it to be able to move.
Yeah, 3 cars up there now in the outside lane. I'm trying to see who that is that joined them, the 91 of Nick Curling. We'll see if he can maybe help these drivers get up there. It looks like the 63 is maybe going to be dropping to the back. He's up there in the very top lane, letting this 91 go by.
So these guys fighting for position, racing pretty hard back there right now towards the end of this lead pack. Looks like some of these guys kind of scrambling, seeing if they can maybe try to get something done. The front pack starting to pull away from that second pack once again. Those guys double file racing back there just a little bit. Still up front here. These guys kind of all over the place up front.
Yeah, Drew Carroll, Scott Eckrich, and Jeff Ward leading that second pack, which right now looks like they're staying about 3 seconds or so, 2 3/4 seconds off of the lead pack. I don't know if they're trying to stay off so in case they wreck, they will be able to avoid it, or if they just cannot catch up.
There was quite a bit of madness going on up in that lead pack there for a little while. Looks like a couple of drivers trying to make a move to the outside. That inside line drifts up off the yellow line there. Almost calamity.
Contact Steve Ritter and Sam Maxwell.
Boy, oh boy. These guys all over the place right now. Really hard racing. It looks like some really hard racing going on to that second pack now as well.
Yeah, looks like Brian Yazik up there to the outside lane in that number 55 machine in this second pack. He has no help for the moment up there. We'll see if once this 18 clears him, if he drops down. He's thinking about it, but he's going to stay up there. Now Ty Hester to his inside.
Yeah, that 55 machine, Brian Yazik, trying to get something done. It would look like calamity back there for a little while. Those guys will kind of settle out now and kind of settle back into a single file groove. The guys back up in the lead pack now. 28 machine up there. Jump back to the outside to Tom Gianni, and Steve Ritter is the one leading this outside groove. Now Steve Ritter jumps back to the bottom. That leaves Tom Gianni leading those 3 cars around the outside.
Yeah, I don't think those 3 cars will be able to get too far up the field, but we will find out. Looks like they're kind of stalled just behind Steve Ritter up on the outside. But now the inside's checking up just a little bit. They're looking to go 3 wide to the outside of 10 knot.
Yeah, absolutely right now. 3 wide up back here towards the back of this lead pack now. Down the 44, Tom Gianni. Still leading those 3 cars around. The 41 left at us in the middle.
So now we'll see Will Gianni drop down in front of Tim Knott. Will he stay up there in front of those 2 other cars that are helping him? We'll see as Tim Knott looks like he's about to drop down to the inside of the lane. He is clear. Yes, he will drop down behind that number 91 of Nick Curling.
So these guys mostly single file once again up into this lead pack, other than 3 cars up on the outside lane. And we see that some guys have wanted to try to move around, maybe try to make a move, but just haven't been able to get it done, Evan.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably about 31 laps till these guys start coming to pit road. And when they do you think they'll take tires and operate them?
For the first
I know
pit
you're probably
stop,
not the one to ask.
Well, for the first pit stop, I would never take tires, but you know, with these track conditions, it really depends. Some guys you may see doing 2 tires. For sure, you will not see any 4-tire stops.
It's going to be a 1-stop race, so are they going to go all 76 laps on 1 set of tires?
Well, they're still kind of predicting that there may be a caution in there somewhere, I'm sure. So it's a tough call from these guys, but I'm still not expecting to see anybody take 4 tires.
I think if it's under caution, we'll see mostly 4-tire stops, but under green, you have to do 2 tires probably.
Absolutely. So the number 91 machine leading that group of 3 cars around to the outside of the first pack now. Kind of settled out up towards the front of this thing so far. The second pack, you see a couple of 2-lane racing. The number 89 machine leading a group of 5 cars up around the higher groove here from Talladega. Some of these guys, looks like they're starting to collect more cars here, starting to gain some more drivers up on a higher line. Maybe going to be able to get something to work here.
Yeah, it looks like they've got about 3 cars up there in this first pack for the moment. But back there in that second pack, like you're saying, led by the 89 of John Kennedy, these guys running side by side is not going to help them to catch back up to the lead pack. I don't think they're going to be able to do it if they keep running side by side.
Absolutely. A lot of sketchy racing going on here in the second pack right now, something that we've seen between both packs. Some of these guys kind of switching lanes all over the place, kind of a little bit hectic back here, and that's what we got to watch out for, Evan, because that's what leads to the wrecks.
Yeah, looks like about 4 cars up there in this outside lane in this second pack. Like you said before, led by John Kennedy. Then it looks like the 60 of Brandon Boyd right behind Kennedy. Looks like we're starting to get a few more drivers up there in the outside lane in that first pack. Looks about 5 cars up there now, led by the 42 of Jim Foose.
Jim Foose trying to get something done on the outside lane, now trying to lead those other drivers around. Some of these guys kind of following him single file up around the upper groove, trying to avoid losing the draft. That might be helping their case a little bit too, Evan.
Now this lead pack running too wide. That is allowing the second pack. Looks like they are definitely starting to close in. Let's see, only about 1.2 seconds off of the last car in this next pack. So they are making their way up to this pack.
Absolutely, 18 laps into this thing so far, and these drivers right now, with the way that they've been racing, very aggressive racing, and it's something that you really have to follow through with on the super speedways, Evan. You got to be really aggressive the whole time, otherwise you're going to end up losing the draft, and you're not going to be able to hold your position.
Exactly, but you can't be too aggressive that you cause a wreck or that you make a move, and then if no one goes with you, you're going to go to at least the tail end of the pack, if not losing the draft.
Absolutely something to watch out for, and it looks like that second groove up here kind of fizzled out a little bit to Jim Foose and Tom Gianni still working with one another. They did lose a couple of drivers kind of in between the two packs now, and that's kind of helping to pull that second pack in as well.
Yeah, they're getting close to where they will get this lead pack's draft, and then they'll be there in probably a lap or two. About 9/10 of a second off of the first car, or I guess the last car in this first pack. Once they get within about 7/10, they should be able to start getting the draft and closing in even
What's
more.
one thing that we may have to watch out for here, Evan, when these two packs do eventually merge?
Well, the second pack will most likely have the most momentum, and what are they going to do with it? Are they just going to check up and stay in line? Are they going to go 2 wide? Are they going to go 3 wide? And now they're pretty much within drafting range, so we'll probably find out here. Oh, big wreck.
Oh, car
Up and
upside
over.
down in turn number 1.
Chris Titus and that number 25 machine up and over.
Going back on the PTR TV replay. Oh boy. 25 machine going for a wild ride up there. Let's see how this thing started. It looks like bumper hook maybe to the 77 machine. Yeah, that's what it was. A bumper hook to that 77 machine. 77 got turned down to the bottom of the racetrack, came back up, and the 25, Chris Titus, went for a wild ride upside down. And surprisingly, it doesn't look like really anyone else was involved. A couple other cars piling in late. The 55 and the 97, 96 also getting a piece of that, but looks like maybe the 43 also involved. So, yeah. Alex Geesey, that 77 machine.
So now these drivers are going to come down pit road, and I would expect them to maybe take 4 tires, and then they'll still have to stop one more time, do maybe no tires on that stop.
Absolutely. So, do expect to see 4 tires here, and obviously some Sunoco race fuel. Leader currently the number 3 machine, Pete Baskins. Led pretty good amount of laps in this race.
Yes, they're coming out of 4 now. We'll see who all comes down pit road.
I'd expect to see pretty much everybody coming down pit lane here.
Looks like that is the case.
Here comes the field.
So now we'll see
what,
2 or 4 tires, no tires, whatever these drivers decide to do.
I expect to see maybe a little bit of strategy played by a couple of drivers here on these pit stops, Evan, but I do expect to see 4 tires for the most part.
Looks like the leader, Pete Baskins, is doing 4 tires.
Looks like 27, Jordan Ashlin will make it out of pit lane first, or... Oh,
Did Jay Graves beat him out?
8 machine barely beat him out of pit lane. Jordan Ashlin all the way up to that 2nd position. Only pace around Talladega Super Speedway, folks. We're going to jump to a quick side-by-side commercial break. Stay with us. We'll be right back with you.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to, sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinsler. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from 9th leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun, where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there, where sprint cars, you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, as a rookie on there, in the Legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. So all the bumps and all the visual aspects of it are very good. So when I first got to like K&N and then the Nationwide Series at the time, I would race iRacing all the time to learn as much as I could about the racetrack before I went to the actual racetrack to race. So to me, it's just for fun now. So I enjoy going on there. Actually, I don't enjoy going on there all the time because I don't win a lot. So it's frustrating to see myself struggle to run top 10 in an Xfinity race or something like that and get beat by Logan Seavey every time I run a sprint car. So the level of competition on iRacing is better than real life. You've got thousands of drivers on there that, a lot of them are probably better than the people you see on TV. They just haven't had the opportunities to make it, but can kick butt on there, and you can spend all day long running thousands of laps a day, so you can get yourself, really good at it. So competition level is just unbelievable, really, on there. Everybody's been asking for dirt on there for forever. So when they announced it, I got really, really excited. And honestly, it's blown my expectations away. The cars, to me, drive really good when the track's hooked up. The visual part of the racetrack changing is amazing. How you can run some laps and see it start to get shiny, and then you feel it getting slick. Areas of the racetrack getting dirty, and then you get some cars run through there and it cleans off and gets grip back. It's nuts. The tear-off feature is really cool. Watching the wing move backwards and forwards. I run with the virtual reality headset too, so being able to look down and see everything, it looks extremely realistic. So yeah, it blew my expectations away. And it's only gonna get better, really.
Hello and welcome back, race fans, to PTR TV. Back here with the Twitchy Race Reports Premier Cup Series, the Sam Maxwell Customs Cup 200, and the Talladega Super Speedway. These guys are stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go back green flag racing.
Yeah, these drivers coming through turns number 3 and 4 now. Jay Graves Jr. will lead this field back to green. To that side will be Jordan Ashland, and then Mark Emerson will be behind him. All three of those drivers on 2-tire stops, and Pete Baskins will be the first driver on 4 tires for this restart.
So, the officials, race officials reminded these drivers over the driver radio to make sure they're going at the drop of the green flag. So, these guys going to have to pay close attention to that. Pace car ready to roll in. Evan, take it away for the restart.
Pace car pulling down in pit lane now. And now the long wait for the green flag will come back in the air. Jay Graves Jr. will be leading this field back to the green as they come through the tri-oval now. Number 27 of Jordan Ashland is outside. And the green flag is back in the air. We are back underway here at Talladega. It looks like Jordan Ashland, he got a pretty good jump on that restart. He may be able to clear Jay Graves before they get to turn 1.
Yeah, heading down into turn number 1 now. The number 8 machine on the low side, 27 up top. Jordan Ashland got a good jump on that restart. He's got help for the 3 of Pete Baskins behind him. Now looking down the low side, 22 pushing that number 8 machine down on the low side. Now heading down the back straightaway.
Middle of the back straightaway now, still side by side for the lead. Only 3 cars out there in the outside lane, but Jordan Ashland has the advantage going into 3, but we'll see. I think Jay Graves should be able to get him out of 4 or on the front stretch, and he is already clear, I do believe.
Looks like a little bit of a breakaway up to front of this thing. 7 cars breaking away up front. Sam Maxwell and the 98 machine joining those guys up on the high side. Those guys still running 2 by 2. The number 8 machine hasn't been able to clear for the lead quite yet. Jordan Ashland still trying to hang in there with him as they enter turn number 1.
Yeah, going down into turn number 1 now. Looks like the inside of the lane is starting to pull away just a little bit. I believe he may be clear. Nope, not quite. Jordan Ashland is barely hanging out his quarter panel out of turn number 2. Now down the back straightaway.
Heading down the back straightaway now. Now, these guys still running 2 by 2. The pack starting to catch back up with them just a little bit at a time. I'm actually quite surprised that they've held a breakaway for this long, Evan.
Yeah, now the 3 cars up in the outside lane starting to drop back. Jordan Ashland is now side by side with Steve Ritter for the 3rd position. Now Sam Maxwell back down to the inside lane, so just Jordan Ashland and Pete Baskins up there in the outside lane. We'll see how far they drop back before they can get that back down to the inside lane.
The pack's slowly starting to merge in with these guys once again. Only 2 cars up on the high side. Jordan Ashland kind of trapped up there with the number 3 of Pete Baskins. And these guys really know where to go. Nobody's jumping up to the high side to help them out. These guys trying to pull it out single file.
Yeah, I think these drivers are just trying to get some laps in now. Still, what, about 50 laps to go, I believe? So at least 1 more pit stop.
Yeah, absolutely. So we saw those guys up front take 2 tires, Evan, so it'll be interesting to see what they do if we get a green flag pit stop, because, you know, one of those signs going to be very, very worn out, much more than the other. So it will be interesting there. Jordan Ashland, the only car up on the high side now. Looks like B. Baskins left him out to dry and left him to suffer for himself.
Yeah, Baskins fell back into the 7th place, so he really didn't fall back as far as I kind of thought he would. Ashland's still dropping back, though. He might be able to get down in front of Jim Foose. He's going to push it. A little bit of contact there between Foose and Ashland.
Yeah, a little bit of contact indeed. Good job by both those drivers to keep it off of one another for the most part. However, those guys up front pretty much single file, looking further back in the pack. I know I saw some racing somewhere back there. It looks like that number 6 machine is trying to make something work on the outside line right next to the 70 machine. A couple of guys back there at the very tail end of this field.
Yeah, number 43, Steve Buhala pushing Jared Haggerty. Now taking a look 3 wide, but back down in line behind the 6, pushing him. Contact.
Oh, around goes the 76 machine to the inside.
I don't think that's going to be a caution, though. He's down off of the racing surface.
Hard contact with that inside wall. Go back on PTR TV replay, see if we can take a look at that. It does look like the 76 machine either got loose, he was drifted up battle lane, made contact with the 6 machine and the 43, and then he lost his momentum, and then he got help on the 55 of Brian Yazik to help him go around further, and it's pretty good contact there with the inside wall. Just a little bit of a tap, but that'll ruin his night.
He got it back going. He's back in the 31st position, and he's going to go at least one lap down unless this caution comes out, as he's already about 28 seconds off of the lead.
Yeah, a little bit of front and rear end damage to that race vehicle as well. So, but after that, Evan, it looks like literally everybody in the first 2 packs single file.
Yeah, literally everyone in this field is single file. So now we'll see how long will it stay that way. I kind of think most of these drivers are going to try and stay single file until after they complete that final pit stop, and then maybe get at it and do some racing for the win. See, it looks like one car taking a look to the outside, Tim Knott, but he's back down in line.
Yeah, things will stay kind of singled out right now, and unfortunately, this is something that I brought up earlier. This is what happens with these cup packages here at Talladega. It's really hard to get that outside lane to work, and these guys just manage to spread a single file all the way through the field.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the cup package, but it just does not work well for side-by-side racing.
Something to point out, Steve Ritter managed to make his way up to the 3rd position there in that 16 machine. 22 Mark Emerson still holding up front. The 91 machine making a jump to the outside now, maybe seeing if he can get something done. Nobody going to go with him. He's going to get sucked all the way back to the tail end of this field, or tail end of this pack anyways, I would imagine.
Yeah, he's still dropping back. He's in about 9th place now. Or 8th place, about to be 9th place, but it looks like Troy Haight up there thinking about going with them.
Looks like he will. Maybe trying to get the suck up. Maybe trying to help advance his position a little bit. He was up towards the very tail end of this. Oh, the 22 machine gets bumped out of line. He's got nowhere to go. Coming back up the racetrack. 3-4 wide, trying to avoid him.
Looks like everyone for the moment still is avoiding him, but that really shuffled everything up. It looks like Steve Ritter and Jay Graves Jr. side by side for the lead, come through the tribal. Jay Graves has the run, but Steve Ritter has the inside.
Everything settles out now, but that shook up the field quite a bit, Evan. These guys now 2x2 racing. Your leader, the number 8 machine, Jay Graves Jr. up on the high side. Here comes Steve Ritter down low with help from Sam Maxwell.
Yeah, Steve Ritter is cleared for the lead now, and we'll see Sam Maxwell should be able to clear along with him. Not quite yet, but only Jay Graves and Jason Stewart up there in the outside lane.
These guys starting to settle back out now, but that really did allow that second pack to catch the first pack a little bit more. Those guys still trying to hold up on the higher lane there. Not going to work now. That was your leader in the 8 machine, Jay Graves Jr., that had to make an evasive maneuver from the 22 of Mark Emerson. He loses the lead. Now it's the 16 of Steve Ritter out front.
Yeah, Steve Ritter out front now. Top 3 have cleared the outside lane. Sam Maxwell and Pete Baskins running up there in the top 3. Now the 63 Tyler Seville and Jay Graves side by side for the 4th position. Out of turn number 2, Seville has the position on that.
Yeah, those guys going to fall back quite a bit through this field. One of those guys may be able to fill in that gap there, and there goes the 11. Unfortunately, that leaves our former leader, the 8 machine of Graves Jr. up on the high side without anybody to work with. So tough break for him, but still a long race here, folks. So he should be able to work his way back up there.
Oh, contact between Stewart and Jay Graves.
Oh, boy. Just saw that out of the corner of my eye. Jay Graves trying to get down to the bottom lane. Not going to be able to do it. It's that time by without a little bit of contact back there. And, well, he's not going to be able to get let in.
Yeah, now falling back to the 8th position. Now about to lose 9th to Tim Knott. And then Mark Emerson Coming by him now on the inside.
So Jay Graves Jr. still falling back through the fields. It's like a majority of these guys single file. Once again, they come up to a lap car. That is that number 76 machine that we saw spin earlier. Steve Ritter still off front of this thing. Sam Maxwell, that 98 machine, having a pretty good run so far today, Evan, and he's up in that second position.
Yeah, Steve Ritter, he rolled off in the 31st position, and it took him, what, about 34 laps to get up here leading this race? Really good run for him.
Absolutely. The power of the draft, you know, really hard to make moves and get back up towards the front here with these cup packages. Little bit of aggressive racing going on further in the pack back there. Looks like Tom Gianni in that 44 machine trying to get something done.
Yeah, Gianni up there has no help. We'll see if he drops back in line behind this number 8 machine. He's still on his quarter panel out of turn number 4. He's still side by side, not quite able to get down in line.
Looks like Jeff Ward going to fill that gap with the 90 machine now, and Tom Gianni still trapped up on a high side. A little bit of help from the 28 machine of 8 up there, but that's about all he's got.
Yeah, and then we have that second pack. Caution on the racetrack.
Speedway. Let's see if we can find out where that one is. I don't see anything within the first couple packs.
Yeah, number 55.
55, Brian Yazik taking a spin. Just two cars back there were working together. The 36 was pushing him, and Brian Yazik taking a little bit of a spill down onto the apron there, and eventually spun back up onto the racetrack, but that was enough to bring out the yellow flag. Doesn't look like any damage for him.
Yeah, I really don't think either of those drivers had any damage. Just at 55, took a little bit of a spin there. So these drivers, they should be able to make it here if they pit now. Lap 38.
These guys gonna be catching back up to the iRacing official pace car here on the back straightaway.
Now I think these drivers will come down pit road, and I don't know about the strategy. I think most drivers might take 4 tires, but I think Pete Baskins will do 2 tires or no tires because he took 4 about 17 laps ago.
Yeah, absolutely. So it will be interesting to see what these strategies go for, folks. So let's check it out real quick. The pit road should be open this time by. And here come your leaders.
Steve Ritter leading almost all the field down pit road. I'm trying to see, is that Jim Foose that stayed out?
Maybe
yes,
they lead
is.
that lap. I don't know. Unless he's expecting another caution here, but interesting call by that 42 team.
So now these drivers hitting their pit stalls, and Sam Maxwell, looks like, did he do just gas only?
Could be.
Yeah, looks like he did fuel only.
So he'll come out in that 3rd position. And folks, we hate going to commercials so often, but these are some really, really long pace laps here. And well, I've been going on some coughing fits here, so I need to step away for a brief moment. So we're going to step away for a brief moment to a quick side-by-side commercial break. We'll be back with you for the restart.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to, sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run, about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and, put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinsler. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from ninth leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun, where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there, where sprint cars, you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, as a rookie on there, in the Legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. So all the bumps and all the visual aspects of it are very good. So when I first got to like K&N and then the Nationwide Series at the time, I would race iRacing all the time to learn as much as I could about the racetrack before I went to the actual racetrack to race. So to me, it's just for fun now. So I enjoy going on there. Actually, I don't enjoy going on there all the time because I don't win a lot. So it's frustrating to see myself struggle to run top 10 in an Xfinity race or something like that and get beat by Logan Seavey every time I run a sprint car. So the level of competition on iRacing is better than real life. You've got thousands of drivers on there that, a lot of them are probably better than the people you see on TV. They just haven't had the opportunities to make it, but can kick butt on there, and you can spend all day long running thousands of laps a day, so you can get yourself, really good at it. So competition level is just unbelievable, really, on there. Everybody's been asking for dirt on there for forever. So when they announced it, I got really, really excited. And honestly, it's blown my expectations away. The cars, to me, drive really good when the track's hooked up. The visual part of the racetrack changing is amazing. How you can run some laps and see it start to get shiny, and then you feel it getting slick. Areas of the racetrack getting dirty, and then you get some cars run through there and it cleans off and gets grip back. It's nuts. The tear-off feature is really cool. Watching the wing move backwards and forwards. I run with the virtual reality headset too, so being able to look down and see everything, it looks extremely realistic. So yeah, it blew my expectations away. And it's only gonna get better, really.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Twitchy Race Reports ASRS Premier Cup Series Sam Maxwell Customs Cup Talladega 200. Sam Maxwell currently leading Steve Ritter to his outside as they get ready to come back to the green. They're going through 3 and 4 now.
Yeah, the field's stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go back. Green flag racing here, and should be an interesting restart. Sam Maxwell leading this race so far.
Yeah, Sam Maxwell on his fuel-only pit stop. We'll see how that works out for him. I believe probably like the top 4 or so did fuel-only.
So, pace car ready to make its way down into the pit lane this time by the field in the hands of Sam Maxwell. That 98 machine, the 16, Steve Ritter out next to him. 22, Mark Emerson. The oh, no.
It's been delayed, and the pace car is going through the grass.
That's the first time I've seen that. So, delayed green here, folks.
I'm not quite sure why. It was an admin delayed green flag.
Very interesting.
Seems like a lot of the field right now is single file. From about 20th on back, most of the drivers are down on the inside lane.
Yeah, I don't know really what's going on.
I is confused. But
So
we're back
is
under the
I.
green.
Maybe we could try this one more time. I think admins themselves trying to figure out what's going on here. Currently 42 laps in, and out of a 76 lap race here tonight, the Sam Maxwell Customs Cup 200 here from the Talladega Super Speedway. You're currently watching the Twitchy Race Reports Premier Cup Series here with ASRS. I would like to apologize in advance if I suddenly stop mid-sentence for any reason. My throat not in the greatest of shapes here tonight, which is a little bit unusual for me, because normally I'm used to talking a lot. But, our producer Michael DeGroat just agreed with that with quite a bit of sass. These guys, once again, stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go back green flag racing.
So, for the second time under this caution period, we are hopefully coming back to the green.
Looking promising this time around. See what happens. This car ducking into pit lane.
And hopefully won't go through the grass this time.
Field in the hands of Sam Maxwell now, the 98 machine. The field slowly rolling down through the Talladega Tri-Oval, ready to take the green flag once again. Sam Maxwell, the 98 machine, waiting for the drop of the green flag. There it is. Green flag is in the air. We're underway once again.
And I think this is the first time tonight that the leader's actually gotten the advantage.
Oh boy!
Steve Ritter
out of shape.
all over the place on the outside lane. I don't know if he got wheel spin. I don't know how you could really get wheel spin here at Talladega with the restarter plates.
27, Jordan Ashland was all over his rear bumper. The 16 got out of shape. Amazing save by Steve Ritter.
Ritter now back down in line in the 4th position. So Jordan Ashland leading the outside lane for the moment.
These guys 2 by 2 by 2 from 4th on back. Now Jordan Ashland trying to defend that 5th position side by side with the 8 machine. Now Jay Graves Jr.
Now Jay clearing for the position. Now will Ashland be able to get down in front of Jeff Ward? No, he will not. Ward filling that position.
Trying to get something going here now, coming across the start-finish line. Jeff Ward, where did he come from? Last we checked, Devin, he was towards the back of his pack.
Yeah, Ward started back in the 21st position. So he has just been methodically working his way up through this pack.
Yeah, so these guys now heading down the back straight away. It looks like these guys mostly single file once again. Just a few cars up in that outer lane.
Yeah, 3 cars up there in the outside lane for this lead pack at least.
Now heading down on that turn number 4, Jordan Ashland in that 27 machine. Still trying to get something done on the outside line, side by side with Jeff Ward. Jeff Ward not quite able to clear him. Yeah, Jay Graves Jr. out in front of them. A little bit of a breakaway out front from 4 cars.
Yeah, I don't know if it's with these guys running too wide, if that's allowing 3 or 4 cars to get away. But now Jeff Ward clearing for the 6th position. We'll see if him and Jay Graves can get up through the field or get up to the back bumper of the leaders. But now Jordan Ashland trying to fight back in the outside lane.
Yeah, Jordan Ashland trying to get back up there. A little bit of extra help now. And those guys, I think, got jacked up just a little bit by a lap car. And that helped Jordan Ashland out just a little bit. But he's got a little bit of help. 3 cars up there on the high side. Those 4 cars out front still pulling even further away from the rest of this pack. Jay Graves Jr. starting to get sucked back in. A little bit of dodging and weaving going on down there side by side. Even still, looks like we've got about 3 groups of cars here now.
Yeah, Ashland, and Seville up there in that second lane. They're the only 2 drivers really up there. I think it's Pete Baskins is up there, but he's not really close to those ones up closer to the front of the pack.
Couple of guys kind of moving in and out of line now 4 cars up on the high side. Jordan Ashland successfully leading that top line around the speedways so far. Not quite able to clear. That's one thing that was really hard to do, Evan, when those guys get up towards the front. It's really hard to clear that car.
But this is allowing the top 4 cars to break away. The 98 of Sam Maxwell, and then Mark Emerson, Jason Stewart, and Steve Ritter have all pulled away from the rest of the field.
Absolutely. Jordan Ashland is clear now. Moves down the racetrack just a little bit. No, stays up towards the high side. 3 cars working up there right now. Jordan Ashland, he's got to be smart about this. Now moves down the racetrack. Evasive maneuver from Jay Graves Jr. Nowhere to go. Still a car to his outside.
Yeah, I think Ashland was trying to bring the 41 and 63 with him if he could, but he saw the 8 getting the momentum, so he dropped down in front of him. Ashland now leading this inside lane of the second pack. We'll see if now they can catch up to those leaders.
These guys still racing pretty hard with another pack catching them. The back behind them is all single file, so I expect them to catch them pretty quickly here. The 90 Jeff Ward fighting through this, and that second group of cars back there, and he moves his way 3rd back in line in the second groove.
So now Tim not the only car up there in the outside lane, but he should be able to get in behind the 28 of Troy Haight.
Working his way down the racetrack, and there he goes. Now Troy Haight working his way back up to the top of the racetrack. He's going to get boxed in. He made a move up to the 18, expecting someone to go with him. Didn't quite work out that way. Those guys single out now.
Yeah, but this time for Troy Haight, no harm, no foul. He's able to get right back into the position he was. And once again, it looks like he's taking a look to the outside of that number 18 of Mitch Brown.
Maybe trying to see who will go with him, seeing who will help him. You just saw Jordan Ashland successfully make that high side work for a brief period of time. Now, all these guys single file, they're really in the top 4.
Yeah, now they have the draft of the top 4, and they're all single file on the inside lane. So when they catch them, what are they going to do? They're going to go to the outside and try and pass them. I have to think at least some of them will try that. So now coming through turns number 3 and 4, now only a quarter of a second off of the back bumper, that number 16, driven by Steve Ritter. Now coming down the front straightaway, going through the tri-oval. We'll see if Ashland, he has a run on him. Will he go to the outside, or will he stay in behind them?
Jordan Ashland, that 27 machine, quickly catching the top 4. Now, gonna kind of stay there. He does still have the momentum right out the back bumper to 16 as Steve Ritter. He's gonna hold this place in line.
And we'll see out of turn number 2, Steve Ritter taking a look to the outside of the 11, now back in line behind him. See, looks like Ashland for the moment is just going to stay in line behind the 16.
We know with the right help, Jordan Ashland can lead a line and lead a second groove around the Talladega Super Speedway. He just needs the right drivers to be behind him to help, and he needs enough drivers up at the high side where he can get something done. Now, he's going to hold this place in line still. These guys single file racing around Talladega.
Yeah, they should be good to go to the end on the fuel, so they're getting pretty close to the end of this race. About 26 laps to go. So when do you think they're going to have to start pointing out their moves, Brandon?
Well, these guys, if they really wanted to, they could ride single file all the way to the end of this thing, because the only lap that matters is the final lap. You know, some of these guys maybe going to try to make a move to the outside and see if they can work their way up towards the front.
The top 5, they can kind of wait till 5 to go or even in the white flag, but the guys behind them, they have to start making their moves now, because it takes so long. If you don't have help, it takes so long to try and work out through the field. See a couple guys out there in the outside lane now trying to make it work. Troy Haight and Tim Knott. And now Tim Knott going back down to the inside lane, trying to get underneath Troy Haight. Yes, he will get down there. Now Haight going to fall back one position behind Tim Knott.
Yep, so those guys will single out once again. Troy Haight falling back into line. Seems like a common theme here tonight, Devin. A couple of guys try to make a move. Doesn't quite work out. We've seen only one time that the driver has been able to successfully make that outside line work for the benefit of the entire outside line without it fizzling out immediately. And that was with Jordan Ashland.
Looks like at least the top 17 all single file, and there are 17 cars in this lead pack. Then it looks like there's about a 4-car pack behind them.
Yeah, so those guys, the rest of the field kind of separated, you know, scattered throughout the racetrack. Some of them damaged, you know, couple of, well, I think there was really only one major incident on that, Evan.
Yeah, now Jared Haggerty, that number 6 machine driving by the 28 of Troy Haight. Haight tried to make a move to the outside, but it did not work out for him. He's dropping back through the field.
Yeah, he may be stuck all the way to the end of this pack here. No gaps in the line, really, and tried to maybe squeeze in between the 56 and the 6, but didn't quite work out there.
So now he's going to get in behind the 3 of Pete Baskins. Yeah, now he drops down. So he's going to go from 11th to 17th. Just because he tried to make a move.
Yeah, did not work out in his favor. So these guys will single out once again. And now Troy Haight's going to have to be careful not to lose that lead draft.
That 4-car pack behind them, they're actually running a little bit quicker than our leaders, so we'll see if they can catch up to him. That pack is led by the number 60 of Brandon Boyd, John Kennedy, Jared Mogard, and Chad Finley in that pack.
Yeah, absolutely. So those guys, which surprises me, now Troy Haight, we see him. He is losing the draft of that lead pack, so he's going to fall back into the clutches of the 4-car pack back there behind him.
And that's just going to make that second pack faster, having that extra car.
Absolutely. So if all works well for Troy Haight, he should be the leader of this second pack. And yeah, that's actually very, you know, helping that second line a lot.
No, because that second line, they're going to try and go around them.
60 machine Brandon Boyd trying to go up and around Troy Haight now. They're going to have to get around him. If they're going to get around him, they got to do it as quickly as possible. They're going to end up losing that momentum.
I think what they should have just tried and pushed Troy Haight, because now they're up in the outside lane. But this could actually end up working out because they're going to get some pretty good momentum up there. We'll see, because they're about to get the draft off the back end of that number 3 machine. Looks like all 4 of those cars in the second pack still up in the outside lane, getting ready to drop down in front of that number 28 of Troy Haight. And the 9 can't quite get down. They're still all staying up there for the moment.
Looks like they're going to try to start moving down now. And they do clear Troy Haynes. Going to have to try to work in. They didn't actually lose as much time as I thought they would have.
Yeah, they still ran quite a bit quicker than the leaders.
Here they come up to the back of the leaders now.
And who is that? Is that the 91 Nick Curling? He's taking a look to the outside, maybe going to see if he can get some help from that second pack. And they, for the moment, they are going with them. That second pack has now caught the lead pack, and they are pushing the 91 of Nick Curling.
Gonna have to be careful. They had to lose a little bit of time there to slow down to the same speed that the 91 was going, but few cars trying to make that upper groove work. See if anyone else will go with them. If they get more drivers, Evan, they could make this work.
Yeah, I think they will get some more drivers now. Who is that? The 85 of Drew Carroll and the number 70 of Scott Eckrich out to the outside lane.
And here they come, that second pack trying to get moving, Evan. This could work out for their benefits. For the first time tonight, we could see some solid 2x2 racing.
Yeah, now a little bit less than 20 laps to go. So this is when these drivers are starting to get racy, trying to make their way up to the front of the pack so they have a shot to win this race. Looks like about 7 cars up there in the outside lane, so this could actually work for them. Side by side for the 10th position now with
oh, contact between the 41 and the 85.
now
Three
Mitch
wide
Brown.
racing behind them now.
Yeah, Mitch Brown tried to get up there in front of Drew Carroll, and now the 63 trying to get up in front of Drew Carroll, and he is not having any of it. He does not want to help them. He wants to go around them. Now
These
only
guys
3
starting
cars
to
up
pinch
there.
one another. Back to single file racing behind them. Still 3 wide. 63 can't find a place in line. Now a couple other cars jumping all the way up to the high side.
Mitch Brown and Jeff Ward now up there in that second lane.
Jeff Ward saying that I got a points lead to hold, guys. I got to get back up to the front.
So now we'll see. It's back up to about 5 cars up there in the outside lane. Will they be able to catch up and get side by side for the lead? We will find out.
Jeff Ward doing a good job so far leading these guys around, getting closer and closer to the front of this pack. Now coming around that 8 machine, they got a little bit of a gap there, a little bit of a breakaway between them and the 8. It looks like Jordan Ashland may be tempted to move up there as well.
Yeah, Jordan Ashland thinking about moving up there, but choosing to stay down in the bottom lane for the moment.
Seeing if maybe he can match the momentum. He doesn't want to cause too much of a checkup, and now too late, Jeff Ward and next to that 27 machine. They did lose a couple of drivers.
Taking a look. Steve Ritter also taking a look to the outside that number 11, but Deck's back down in line, and now once again taking a look to the outside of Jason Stewart.
Steve Ritter jumps up to the outside lane now. Now Jordan Ashland, no turning back. Now Jordan Ashland fills that spot. A little bit of contact between the 27 and the 16.
So now 4 cars up there in the outside lane. They kind of stalled around Jordan Ashland. Now Steve Ritter up there leading that pack. We'll see what he can do. Now 3 wide. Jay Graves Jr. way down on the bottom. Tim Knott in the middle. And Mitch Brown up on the top.
Tim Knott getting shoved out of line just a little bit there in that 41 machine. Going to be 3 wide racing heading down into turn number 3 now. Now heading down through turns 3 and 4. Tim Knott manages to clear up to the high side. Some cars working well together up at the high side. They're starting to merge now, getting past Jordan Ashland.
So now Steve Ritter up there side by side with Jason Stewart. It looks like about 6 cars up there in the outside lane now. So they are making some ground.
Sam
15 to go.
Sam Maxwell may have to start thinking about maybe his blocking methods here, Revin. Something that we see all the time on super speedways. If you want to defend the lead in 2 wide racing, you got to know how to block between lanes. And Sam Maxwell, he may have to do a lot of it if he's going to hold that lead.
Yeah, but the only issue with blocking is if you make a slight miscalculation, you're going around and probably taking the field with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So something that we may have to watch out for is that outside line finally starting to get something done. As they did lose a couple of drivers up there. They really got to be careful not to fall back now.
Yeah, now only 2 cars up there. They're probably going to drop back unless they can get some more help. Now just Steve Ritter and Jeff Ward up there. Drew Carroll once again going to the top. No, back down to the bottom and back to the top.
His gap fills.
Jared Haggerty filled that gap before Carroll could get back down there. So now Carroll and the 96 of Josh Gallagher working together, trying to get back up to Jeff Ward and Steve Ritter.
That outside lane really did have something going. It kind of fizzled out once again. Maybe going once again. Drew Carroll finally gets some help up there. He's got to suck in the draft guys in front of him.
But we saw how long it took for the outside lane. It took him like 5 laps to get up there to the outside of 3rd place. So they do not have too much time before they have to get going.
Now Jeff Ward falling back in the line. That leaves Steve Ritter out to dry.
And now Steve Ritter, he thought about going down, but he has the 70 of Scott Eckrich down there. And I don't see any gaps that Ritter can get down. He's going to have to go all the way to the back.
Unless someone decides to jump out and go with him. But Steve Ritter, unfortunately, he had something good going, and everybody kind of left him in the dust there. It's now coming down at turn number 2, heading down the back straightaway. These guys single file racing once again.
Sam Maxwell still leading this race as we get close to 10 to go. It's only a matter of time before someone tries and makes a move.
If they're going to do it, they got to do it soon, Evan. As you said, it took them about 5 laps to go from the back to the front there, and they weren't quite able to get all the way to the front either way.
Oh, 16, Steve Ritter around
Steve
in
Ritter.
the grass. John Kennedy as well. I don't think that's going to bring a caution out. Steve Ritter hits the inside pit wall.
We stay green. Maybe we can go back on replay and see what happened to the 16 of Steve Ritter.
Steve Ritter has gone behind the wall.
See, we saw him up front battling for position. It looks like he tried to come back in line and just got in front of the 89 machine. The 89, an amazing save down through the grass. Man, oh man, tough break for him and the 89 machine. The 89 being John Kennedy. So going back up front, still single file racing. Sam Maxwell holding this lead, but Evan, if you're out front now taking just 10 laps to go in this race, are you feeling comfortable or are you a little bit worried?
You never feel comfortable at a plate race. Never until the checkered flag is out. Because anything can happen. You could get bumped from behind just barely and it'll send you around. Anything can happen here at these super speedways.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you know, to the point of where you want to be, in these cup cars, do you think it would be better to be out front here in the final lap, or would you want to be that guy in second?
I think in the cup cars, you want to be the leader. And like, according to your trucks, you usually want to be second or third. But in the cup cars, it's so hard to make a move. I think you want to be the leader.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Very, very hard to make passes here on the super speedway. We've seen pretty much single file racing all night and a little bit of moves, but most of the time it ends up fizzling out.
But now 10 laps to go here at Talladega. Looks like about 13 cars now in this lead pack. All of them are single file. Do you think we'll see a caution before this thing's over, Brandon, or do you think it'll go green to the end?
It's very well, we may see a caution, but if it's going to happen, it's going to happen soon if these guys want to get this race back underway. Remember, the iRacing cutoff point is going to be at about lap 70 to 71.
And then you have to take about a lap away from that, because I believe we had this kind of finish in ASRS at Atlanta. They don't allow for 1 lap shootouts to the end.
Absolutely. So lap 70 would be the cutoff point for this.
But hopefully we can keep this thing under the green flag condition and run it out to the end. See a few drivers starting to take a look to the outside, but no one's quite going yet. They might be waiting and seeing what their cars will do when they take a look.
Here comes one driver to the outside, going to get left out to dry up there. That's the 41 of Tim Knott.
Yeah, he's going to drop all the way back to 13th most likely. Doesn't look like he will be able to find a gap to get in.
Yeah, looks like he'll be going all the way to the back there. And not going to try to force the issue. He's going to go all the way back. Now he's going to have to be careful not to lose the draft back there. But going back up front. Sam Maxwell still leading this race out front in the 98.
Saw Jason Stewart taking a look, but pulls back in line.
These guys may be just planning on what they're going to do, what they're going to be able to do once they get the runs, or if they will be caution on the speedway. It's like turn 1 to 43.
Yeah, 43 is Steve Buhala around.
Let's go back on PTR TV replay and see what happened to him. Running in a small pack of 5 cars, tucked behind Jim Foose. And, oh, he got hooked by the 76. Hard contact with the outside wall. No safer barrier there, folks.
So we should get back underway with 2 laps, I would think. 2 or 3 lap racing.
Yeah, absolutely, we should. So this will be very interesting. I don't expect anybody to come down pit road at this point.
Yeah, I think only the guys that need to get some damage fixed will come down pit road. So probably no one in the top 15.
Currently out front of this thing is Sam Maxwell in the 98. Now, if you're the leader, Evan, what is going through your mind at this point with this caution flag, knowing you're going to restart with just a couple laps to go?
Well, probably they were hoping they were past the cutoff lap. That's probably what the leader was hoping as soon as the caution came out. But for this restart, they just need to nail it, because we've seen in all but one start, the guy on the outside has had the advantage by the time they get to turn 1.
Should be interesting, and nobody coming down pit road as expected. A couple of guys maybe here and there. So, while we have the opportunity, folks, we'd like to take a quick look at our schedule for this week. Tomorrow night is Wednesday night. It is our off night here on PTR TV. Nothing going on then. Thursday night, we do have the Rivalry Racing League, and not sure where they're at.
They're at Charlotte for their All-Star race.
Oh, yes, the All-Star race. Should be very interesting to cover tomorrow or Thursday night for the Rivalry Racing League format that we will go further into detail with Thursday night before we bring you all the action. So stay tuned for that. It should be a really fun night then. Friday night, the Hardline Racing League Midwest Power Source Cup Series will be at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, so should be another good show. They normally put on some pretty good racing there as well. So, should be a good rest of the week here, folks. Corey hopefully is enjoying his well-deserved night off. Fun fact about Corey Silva, who is absent tonight, he has been producing every race in what he likes to call the modern era of PTR TV. And the first time he joined our team was when I still had full ownership of the channel back in late 2016. And I believe it was a race, one of our Vintage Racing Group races, and if you've been subscribed to the channel for that long, I give you props.
I mean, I think I've been subscribed to the channel for that long.
Yeah, I expect you to be subscribed to the channel for that long. But, you know, if any fans out there have been subscribed for that long, I give you guys props, because that was way, way back. And then he joined the crew full-time back when we picked up Northeast Racers, which was still quite a long time ago, early 2017. And been producing every race since, and then, you know, we got kind of a good break with the Hardline Racing League, and started picking up more leagues, and, you know, now we've got what we've got. We've got Integrity on Mondays, and now You know, we went through a period of time where we had some really good racing from the Cyber Racing Association on the channel. So, you know, the channel is going strong, and the drive for 500 right now is real, trying to reach 500 subscribers. So if you like the content, folks, be sure to like and subscribe. It really does help us out, and it really does, you know, help us pursue this channel and becoming, you know, our goal for this channel altogether is to become one of the better known channels on iRacing and to become one of the bigger channels on iRacing. And well, we couldn't do that without you guys and all of our fans. So every subscriber is very, very well appreciated. Of course, Michael DeGroat doing an awesome job for his first time producing on the channel here tonight, and his first time ever producing, period, for a live event. So awesome job for him. Corey trained him, and he picked it up within about a night or two with you know, some practice with a couple of broadcasts streamed privately to his own channel, and Michael DeGroat doing an awesome job. Evan, I don't even remember when we picked you up as a commentator.
I think it was maybe September of last year.
And man, oh man, Evan Black, ladies and gentlemen, he's with me here tonight. He's improved greatly from the first time we had him in the booth, and very, very well appreciated here on the team as well. And someone else who makes these broadcasts run super smoothly, calling out stuff behind the scenes, Joe Chris, our quality control specialist, awesome part of the team. You know, I brought him on. I met him. He basically trained me to be an official at the racetracks that we all work with together. And I told him, hey, check out iRacing. And, well, somehow
you've created a monster.
Yeah. The bug bit him. He's been on iRacing. Doesn't race at all, really. He's on here for the broadcasting, and man, we appreciate it. I don't know what we'd do without him anymore. Things would definitely not be run as smoothly as they are right now. So Joe Chris behind the scenes here doing an amazing job.
And we are trying to get him to come on air.
Yeah,
and
we are.
Eventually,
we will get him to we will get his voice on air, and he is considering it. So we'll get there eventually. he says get in there. So these guys, lights out on top of the iRacing official pace car. Lap 73 is 76 here tonight. So these guys stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go green flag racing once again.
Yeah, 3 laps to go here once they take the green. So no matter what, this will be the final restart. It may not be the final caution, but it's the final restart for sure.
Absolutely. So should it be interesting here in this restart. These guys, if they want to make it to the checkered flag, we've seen how aggressive they've been all night, though, and I've been very impressed with the lack of cautions here tonight for a Talladega race. These guys, very, very proud of the way that this league has been run tonight.
Yeah, I think this is only like the 4th caution, so that is pretty good for 76 laps at Talladega.
So pace car will make its way down into pit lane this time by, it will be Sam Maxwell in the 98 machine, still holding his position out front. The iRacing official pace car will pull into pit lane. Off it goes. The field in the hands of Sam Maxwell. He's the control car. These guys got to wait till the drop of the green flag in order to hit the throttle. Sam Maxwell needs a good jump to clear that 22 of Mark Emerson. Jordan Ashland behind the 22, the 11 helping to push the 98 here on this restart. Green flag is back in the air for what should be the final time tonight. We're back underway.
Emerson got a pretty decent restart. He actually might have an advantage going into turn 1. They were still side by side for this entire field going into the corner. Maxwell and the 22 of Emerson still dead even through the center corner.
2x2, still pace lap formation now, heading down at a turn number 2. Now down the back straightaway, still Jordan Ashland maybe going to look to the outside, maybe going to try to pull it 3 wide. Guys diving and weaving down the straightaway. Now Mark Emerson manages to clear for the lead down the back straightaway.
So now Jordan Ashland up there leading that outside lane with the push from the 63. They are starting to drop back. So if Maxwell gets clear, will he jump up to the outside lane? We will see as they are coming to 2 laps to go.
Absolutely, Mark Emerson still off front of this thing. Sam Maxwell behind him. Sam Maxwell has a little bit of company from Jordan Ashland coming up to his rear quarter panel. Still clear of traffic right now. Jordan Ashland trying to get that outside of work.
Coming through turns number 1 and 2 now. The top 2 have cleared. And then Jason Stewart and Jordan Ashland are still side by side for third. So Jason Stewart currently has a slight advantage over Ashland for that position. And Stewart's about to clear. Will he jump up in front of Ashland or not? That is the question.
These guys, you see back further in the pack, trying to do the best they can to get themselves in the best position to win. Jordan Ashland still holding what seems to be the 3rd position, or fighting for 3rd or 4th now, up on the outside lanes, trying to get something done up there. Coming around at a turn number 4 now, coming down through the Talladega Trial. Will this time by, they'll get the white flag. Mark Emerson still leading the field out front.
White flag in the air now. Mark Emerson with a push from Sam Maxwell to the 8 of Jake Graves up in the wall. Big wreck behind
big
them.
Wreck behind
there
them.
Will not be a caution.
We stay green
Race
flag
it
racing
back.
the final lap. Mark Emerson still off front of this thing in the 22. Sam Maxwell behind him. Looking back behind them is the 11 as well. Going down the back straightaway now. More wrecking behind them at a turn number 2.
Now coming down the back straightaway, getting ready to go into turn number 3. Jason Stewart is taking a look to the outside of Sam Maxwell and the 22 of Mark Emerson for the lead.
Coming down through turn number 3 and 4 now. Coming down at a turn number 4. Sam Maxwell boxed in by a couple of drivers now. Nowhere to go, nowhere to make a move. The 11 of Stewart up on the outside now. Heading down through the Talladega Tri-Oval. Coming down out of the Tri-Oval now. Going to be 3 wide coming to the line. Mark Emerson gets the win at Talladega.
Looks like Sam Maxwell will come home P2 and Jason Stewart is rounding out the top 3.
Awesome racing here tonight. Mark Emerson grabbing the win here from Talladega with a 3 wide finish for the first position coming to the line. We wish him a good victory here tonight from Talladega, folks. Stay with us. We'll be right back for the post-race show after this quick commercial break.
I grew up in Northern California, and my parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to, sprinkler races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run, about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and, put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinzer. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from ninth leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun. Where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there. Where sprint cars, you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember yeah, starting out, I mean, as a rookie on there, you know, in the legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, you know, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. So all the bumps and, you know, all the visual aspects of it are very good. So when I first got to like K&N and then the Nationwide Series at the time, I would race iRacing all the time to, you know, learn as much as I could about the racetrack before I went to the actual racetrack to race. So to me, it's just for fun now. So I enjoy going on there. Actually, I don't enjoy going on there all the time because I don't win a lot. So it's frustrating to see myself struggle to run top 10 in an Xfinity race or something like that and get beat by Logan Seavey every time I run a sprint car. So the level of competition on iRacing is better than real life. I mean, you've got thousands of drivers on there that, you know, a lot of them are probably better than the people you see on TV. They just haven't had the opportunities to make it, but can kick butt on there, and you can spend all day long running thousands of laps a day, so you can get yourself, you know, really good at it. So competition level is just unbelievable, really, on there. I mean, everybody's been asking for dirt on there for forever. So when they announced it, I got really, really excited. And honestly, it's blown my expectations away. The cars, to me, drive really good when the track's hooked up. The visual part of the racetrack changing is amazing. How you can run some laps and see it start to get shiny, and then you feel it getting, you know, slick. You know, areas of the racetrack getting dirty, and then, you know, you get some cars run through there and it cleans off and gets grip back. It's nuts. You know, the tear-off feature is really cool. You know, watching the wing move backwards and forwards. I run with the virtual reality headset too, so being able to like look down and see everything, it looks extremely realistic. So yeah, it blew my expectations away. And it's only gonna get better, really.
And welcome back, everybody, to PTR TV. We saw an exciting ending to this race here from Talladega, the Twitchy Race Reports Premier Cup Series from Talladega Super Speedway with the Sam Maxwell Customs Cup 200. And I believe Evan has caught up with your third place finisher of Jason Stewart.
So, Jason, you come home with a third place finish here tonight at Talladega. What are your thoughts after this race?
That was crazy.
Yeah, it looked like it's pretty sketchy out there racing. We saw a lot of green flag racing, though. Did you kind of expect that, or did you think there's going to be a lot of cautions?
Well, I figured we were going to go green because the way things have gone around here, but that was some good races tonight. I'm proud of everybody.
On that, those final few restarts, or I guess the final restart, were those fuel any concern to you, or did you know you were gonna make it?
We knew we were gonna make it. We were clutching it during cautions, and we had enough. I just wish I was on Sam's bumper better, but I'd love to push him to the win.
Yeah, one more question here. On that final restart, did you think you'd have a shot at the win?
Yeah, I saw my team Brown behind me, so my private team came on. He tried, but not enough time. But take a third place all day long.
Alright, well, is anyone you would like to thank or give a shout out to?
I'd like to thank Jim for putting us on, Sam for sponsoring, and Ty for Alpha Tango Racing. Just out here having fun.
Alright, well, once again, congrats on your third place finish, and thanks for talking with us.
Thank you, and thank you guys too.
Yep, no problem. And we do not have second place finisher Sam Maxwell, so Brandon has caught up with Mark Emerson.
Yeah, he's out of the race car now. Your winner here tonight from Talladega, Mark Emerson. Mark, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm just incredibly excited right now. I first win in ASRS, my second win at Talladega overall in my 4 years of racing there. It was just an exciting finish right there.
Man, oh man, tell us about those last few laps, first of all, and what were you feeling when you saw that last caution come out?
I was running second place. I was preparing myself to just finish second. When that caution came out, I knew I was on the outside line. I was like, well, I'm going backwards, not going to finish anywhere good here. But got lucky. My teammate started behind me. He gave me a really good push to the lead.
Tell us a little bit about this race. Being a super speedway, what was your strategy going into tonight?
Survive. Stay in front and survive.
Oh, that you did. You did that pretty well. Was there any close calls that you had tonight that maybe had you worried a little bit?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what lap it is, but it was after the first caution, before the second one. I went under the 8 car for the lead, and he kind of pushed me below the yellow line. I came back up the track. Luckily, everybody went around me. Everybody saw me go down there, and no incidents happened there.
Yeah, that was an amazing save, by the way. We did catch that one. And is there anything else, any point in this race that maybe you thought you weren't going to be able to make it back up towards the front of this thing?
Well, when I initially qualified, I started 11th place, and I didn't think I was going to do too hot there, because usually whenever you start in the middle, bad things happen to people.
Well, you did an awesome job here tonight. Awesome job on your first place finish here tonight. Is there anyone that you'd like to thank and shout out to?
Jim Fu, Sam Maxwell, my teammate Jordan Ashton for giving me that huge push at the end there to help me win that race, and you guys for putting on this.
Well, awesome job on your victory here tonight, Mark. Your winner here with the Twitch Race Reports for your Cup Series, Mark Emerson. And now we actually have caught up with second place of Sam Maxwell. Evan is down with him.
So, Sam, you come home with a second place finish here tonight at Talladega. What are your thoughts after tonight's race? Sam, you got us? Well, it seems like we have not actually been able to catch up with Sam Maxwell, so... we're going to wait a few more minutes here and see if we can find him and catch up with him.
And we have cleared these technical difficulties, so Evan is back down with him.
So, Sam, you come in with a second place finish here tonight at Talladega. And what are your thoughts after this race?
Well, I was kind of hoping that I would get a better push right at the end, but it is what it is. And I'll take second after what I've been getting this season. You know, it's been pretty rough, and second's really good after all that. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy right now.
Throughout this race, we saw a lot of green flag racing. Did you kind of expect that coming in, or do you think it's going to be a wreck fest here at Talladega?
No, I expected we'd get a couple, maybe 4 good wrecks, but otherwise I thought we were probably just going to run around in line like we did mostly. And I'm just glad that I got through it without any damage.
On that final restart, did you think you were going to be able to hang on? You restart with the lead, but things didn't work out.
Yeah, I needed Jason to be right on my bumper when the green dropped, and he just couldn't get close enough to give me the push I needed to hold off, for the second place charge, and he got by me.
All right, well, is there anyone you would like to thank or give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my wife and my family, and hopefully they're all watching and cheering, and shout out for my business, Sam Maxwell Customs, when you need a custom steering wheel.
All right, well, once again, congrats on your second place finish here tonight at Talladega, and thanks for talking with us.
You got it. See you next time.
So, folks, that was your driver interviews here. Let's go ahead and run through the final race results here from Talladega. Finishing first here tonight with a strong victory was the 22 of Mark Emerson. Second was Sam Maxwell. Third, Jason Stewart. Fourth, Mitch Brown. Fifth is Jeff Ward. Sixth, Jordan Ashland. Seventh was Drew Carroll. Eighth was Tim Knott. Chad Finley's finishing in ninth. And rounding out top 10 was Brandon Boyd. Evan?
And then Jared Mogard came home in 11th. Jim Foose in 12th. John Kennedy in 13th, Troy Hayton 14th, Scott Haller in 15th. Then rounding out the rest of the top 20, Brian Yazek, Richard Fletcher, Steve Buhala, Ty Hester, and Andy Veltman rounding out the rest of the top 20.
Jay Graves Jr., after leading a good portion of this race, unfortunately finishes in the 21st position. Second is Scott Eckridge. Third is Tyler Seville. Josh Gallagher finishing 24th. 25th is Tom Gianni. 26th is Pete Baskins. Jack Wells finishing 27th. 28th is Jared Haggerty. 29th is Nick Curling. And rounding out the top 30 is Jordan Miller. Evan?
Then the rest of the field, we got Steve Ritter, Alex Giese, David Howard Jr., Chris Titus, Clarence Bonner, and Nick Kaufman round out the field in 36th.
So, folks, obviously, we wouldn't have a broadcast without our awesome crew. Michael DeGroat as our producer here tonight. Joe Chris behind the scenes. Evan Black, a good commentator we have here. Just an awesome crew here with PTR TV. And, of course, this wouldn't be possible without our channel sponsors. Starting out with Air Movement Fabrications. They're a family-run business formally established in 2012. With over 25 years of experience in the ventilation industry, they offer a wide range of services. This includes ducting, ventilation, extraction, and canopies. If you're in the Nottingham, UK area, Air Movement Fabrications is the ventilation service to trust. Also, Krutz Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, hero cards, paint schemes, and much more. From local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Based out of upstate New York, Krutz Custom Graphics is always P1. Also, iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, custom graphics, coding, and theme design for iRacing's two main overlay systems, ATVO and IRTVO. If you're a broadcast company looking to make your channel shine with custom overlays, talk to Jason Allison with iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon. Keep broadcast quality high and cost low for league owners. We need all help from the fans. Be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV. If you become a Patreon, you get rewards that vary depending on how much you donate. Become a Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV. And that, folks, will do it here for us. Another broadcast in the books. Be sure to like and subscribe. We are on an off night tomorrow night, but be sure to check in with the Rivalry Racing League, their all-star race here on Thursday night. And then we got Hardline Racing League from Las Vegas on Friday. So, folks, I'm Brandon Krutz. Joining me in the booth is Evan Black. Michael DeGroat as our producer here tonight. Behind the scenes is Joe Chris. Have a great night, everybody, and catch you next time.
Have a good night, and we will see you on Thursday.